Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome to another episode of Glory Hunter. In today's episode we do have the opening day of the season against Vallecano, followed by an away trip to the new camp here in August. Since we last met, we've obviously made signings and sales, and that was all in the last episode. So if you haven't watched the transfer business in general and our thoughts, go and check that out, what we think of the Rail Hipper squad. If not, I'm gonna sum it up for you very shortly right now. I think the squad's okay. We have some good players, we have some bad players, and we lack depth. And I don't like Spain very much at all when it comes to players and contracts, because we lost one of our good kids without me even knowing. Now, what I am going to do is recap the transfer history here since we've been in. On the outs, we made 12 million because we signed a left winger to start. Wanma went out for 9. Aurelio Busquets went out for 2.23k. I'm going to touch on Juan Carlos and put a note on him in a second, which meant we needed a midfielder. We went and saw Astaria Van Neck from Wolfsburg, I reckon, who finished second in the Bundesliga. Barely playing, but has 2 caps for Germany. He's going to be playing week in, week out, hoping to develop him as a 21-year-old in the middle of the park. And Matteo Gabbia at centre-back. Yeah, you're a little bit underwhelmed, aren't you? But at the same time, we don't have any money. We started with 13 mil. Have a look at the transfers. We're over the wage. We have no money left in the football club. The one thing I will say is the board are very stingy with the transfer budget. We're going to make bulk money just by playing in the league. They made 22 mil last year on revenue of ticket sales because their wage is so low. So yeah, and look, I know there's a wage cap here in Spain. I know ours is 750k and that gets recalculated every year. I'm going to try and get through the season and then probably walk out the door. It's a very calculated move to a side that I think can win the Europa League. Now, that's not all of our signings. We did come in, and the first thing we did, Arsene Zakaria was transferred for 18 mil. We've gone in, we've signed him. My only issue is that he's worth 65 to 74 mil. He's got a 68 mil release fee. There's a world in 6 months' time where he's playing very well. One of the big teams come around and just take him off our hands for 68 mil, which would give me some wage free up and would give me a lot of transfer money that we could use, which is great, but I'd rather keep him for a year and see how we go. Now, I have to talk about the one Carlos Pietro. He was going to be our backup left winger. He's arguably the best out of all the kids. Apparently, the club never offered him a professional contract. I just saw, value of 20 to 31 mil, that's fine. If someone wants him, they can put in a bid. PSG came, 775k compensation to put him on a full contract. Bye-bye. I don't understand why the AI lets kids like this sit around. And I'm telling you right now, every time that you go to sign a kid from Spain, when you're trying to pitch a kid from Spain, they always want, they always want a gazillion dollars of compensation, and the kid always ends up re-signing with the Spanish team, no matter how much you try to pick him up, no matter who you are. But yeah, I guess the AI can sign who they want for as much as they want. When that happens, I'm very much in pain. I think this guy is going to be someone that we're going to look the target down the track. I'm going to create a note, and the note is PSG stole him. I'm actually mentally banking because it's 7 in the morning. Stole, West here. I'm actually going to look up stole. Are we looking up stole? But yeah, then stole, right? Why are we here? Stole. Where's PSG stole him? Done. Alright, we've got a note on him. That's all that matters. So yeah, it's shambolic, which means the squad looks like so. And that's the only thing I will say. Get our 12 subs, which is great. We don't have 12 subs because guess what? We've only got 10 available players. And our starting left back, who's Abner Vinicius, is out injured for this game. The one thing I will say is, at least when you look at the team, going forward are all right. We have some players. Luis Felipe, very good player. William Carvalho, very good player. Canales is now captain because I've dropped Fekir from captaincy because he keeps kicking up a fuss. Very good player. I don't want to sell Fekir for anything less than his release fee. So if the club wants him, there we are. He has had no interest from anyone. So somebody tells me he's going to stay here for a very long time. Arsene, and then Borja picked up a very small knock. He's out for the next couple of days with a small knock. I've given him an injection because He's actually 14-1 to win the Golden Boot in the lead, which is quite scary as well. So, with that all being said, that's your team on the opening day. Do you know we have a complete wing back on the left-hand side? DOPDA Vinicius, when I sign him to a new deal, wants to play as a complete wing back for whatever reason. I'm going to be doing it and then probably paying the price for it. Let's get straight into it. It is this Real Hipper side who are now, because of the signs that we have made, predicted to finish 7th instead of 9th, which is great. And I think it's mainly down to Arsenal. Don't get me wrong, I actually tempted to sell Philip for like 29 million. Is he like on a full-term deal? He is. He's got a 24 mil release fee. Okay. Because he will become homegrown, but he's not homegrown, so he has to be on, has to be registered as a foreign player. I'd rather maybe sell him to an English club. But yeah, there we go. All right. Without further ado, let's get into it. It's Hippus at home to Vallecano. A game we should be winning. They do have Mr. Thomas up top, who always seems to score against me whenever I play in Spain. Spain's always a fun place to play. But yeah, that's the Vallecano's team. RDT, he's just a goat. He scores everything. Outside of that, I think that's a team we should be beating. And let's go get into there. I'm very happy. There we go. Whatever, done. Let's see what happens here in Spain. Pre-season went well, by the way. We actually beat Dortmund in pre-season. I always forget to show you guys pre-season. We are the team. For those that don't realise, we are in the green and the white. Being a new club, probably should stipulate that. But Vallecano obviously in their red stripe. As we look for Canals, doesn't find him. Our movement seems pretty good. But yeah, Alvaro out the other side there to ISI. Well, yeah, that's a great goal. We're 1-0 down. Things aren't going well here. I think we really cocked up. We should have stayed at West Ham for one more year, trying to win the FA Cup. Hindsight, huh? I just thought there would have been more money. I just thought, you know what, they're rich. They're going to give me a transfer budget of 20 to 25, 30 million. I can do some damage with that. No one wanted to come in. We inherited a very aging squad. And for whatever reason as well, our pitch can only be 108 metres by 64, which is very narrow and very straight. So our wide players can't get too wide to impact the game. And then, yeah, it's odd. Anyway, Borgia blocked and cleared. So, yeah, when we don't play well, there's not like there's a lot on the bench for us to change a game. Anyway, Gabby with a good header, but Hansen saves. This is what we're dishing up. We're going to get pumped by about 9-0 by Barcelona at the Nou Camp, but that's fine. Anyway, Canels wins that back. Club captain, Fekir. While he's here, I want him to perform. That's a ball and a half, though. Miranda fires over the bar. Great run from the complete wing back. Let's see how we go here. We're dominating the game. 69, 70% possession, 9 shots too, which is good. But we should be dominating a team like this. I do think that eventually we will learn the system and the boys will be good, but I just don't think this squad's good enough. I thought we really could do more damage. It's also a pain. Oh, that's a big miss there from Arsene Zakaria. I also think it's painful to know that if we waited an extra 2 months somehow, I don't know how, but the Inter and the AC Milan job both came up. I don't know where their managers left off to. Maybe they both took an international job because it was around then. But yeah, it's painful to know that there was no real jobs, no real merry-go-round apart from PSG. And then it wasn't caused because Pep was out of contract. To then know that somehow after the Euros finish, it created a club spiral, something to keep an eye on. And we keep being unsuccessful every other job as well in Europe, which makes you think, yet again, if we stayed at West Ham being a Premier League manager, just won the Premier League, we would have got an international job. But it is what it is. 20 shots, 5. We're absolutely dominating, and we're 1-0 down. This is very, 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 very painful to watch. We are going to go tactics. We are going to go into the 4-2-3-1. Canels is going to go back line as a Segundo Volante. Fekir is actually going to come into the attacking midfielder role. We are going to bring in Enrique to go up front here as well. Juan Miranda's okay. Rubio is much more of an aggressive fullback for people that remember. I'm going to go like that, I think. Luis Hernandez is quite quick. 22 shots, 5. We've absolutely dominated on the opening day, but no goal. Canals, back stick. Hansen saves. We're going to get FM'd. First game of the season. Let's go get FM'd. Let's go do it, boys. Let's go get FM'd. It's great fun. Fakir. Luis Hernandez. The tour just got absolutely smacked on the edge of the box, but apparently that's nothing to be worried about for the referee. Well, Borgia's dead. Arsenal's not had a good game either. Rapoli, one of the youngsters, is in. Danny Perez, one of the other youngsters, comes in. Like, this is the thing, we don't really have much to change the game. Yeah, do that. Get one of the youngsters in Rapoli in. 27 shots, 7 on target. We're about to cop it. Rui Silva. Danny Perez. William Carvalho. Danny Perez thumps one out there to Outdoor. Finds Fakir. Ball towards back stick. Luis Enriquez could have cut it back to the middle for William Jose, but put it straight at Hansen. Look at this. All right, who's on it? Fakir. One moment of quality, please. Thank you very much. We had to score in the 90th minute from a set piece to find a draw after dominating having an XG of over 3. Welcome back to Spain, Damien. Remember those games on stream last season? We've absolutely pumped Vallecano there. 30 shots, 9 on target, XG of 2.54. I'm going to send that to my mate Paul to say welcome back to Spain, because me and Paul manage a lot in Spain when we're playing our own saves. If that's how it's going to be, boys, we're going to resign very quickly. We made a mistake. We made a mistake, I reckon. That is horrid. We've played unbelievably well. Absolutely dominated, and draw 1-1 to Vallecano is not good at all. That's 3 points, big 3 points missed. Let's have a look at the season preview. Where are they meant to finish? 15th. Should be winning at home. And last thing I want to check before we go YouTube is Data Hub. How do we not score? Like, that's the one thing that I could say about this team is that the only thing, I'm more worried defensively, the only thing that I shouldn't be worried about is the fact going forward I've got Fakir, I've got Borja Iglesias who's really good at this level, Arsenal's a world-class player, right, and Canel's coming from deep. Don't score. Can I just say, when you turn FM on for a brand new day, yeah, because look at pre-season, beat Dortmund 3-1, Club Brugge 1-0, Salzburg 3-1. You know, they're not, they're games that you're going to have to win in the Europa League. But look, we've got Barcelona, 6 days. See you guys in a second. Okay, Barcelona. They played Real Madrid on the opening day and got slapped 3-0, which is a good thing for us. But it probably means that Barcelona are going to come out and look to maul us alive. So, yeah, this is as hard as it gets. At least you know our next run is not bad. Espanyol, Cadiz, Valladolid, Leganés, Vigo. We do play Valencia, Real San Sebastian, and Real Madrid all together with Atletico further down the line. But yeah, look, let's just get through this game. We're probably going to get pumped and see what happens. But the team isn't changing. There's only one move, is Abner coming back in, because I do think he's a bit better. He wants to play in this complete wing-back role. Let's just see what happens here. Hopefully we get a little bit lucky. That would be nice. But let's see what we can do here as well. Let's go prove everybody wrong. It's Barcelona. Let's go and have a look at this Barcelona squad. Maybe they're about to have a bad year. Ter Stegen's there. And let's go to Barca, and let's go transfer history. What have Barca done? What have Barca done? They signed Januzaj last year, and they've sold 1.3 million worth of players, so that's whatever. And this year they transferred no one on the air and spent 55 million. What's their finances looking like, which we'll find out. They signed Dodo from Fiorentina. They signed Markolav from Shakhtar, and Matas Franco, who's a very good footballer as well. Let's go profile. Let's go finances. Apparently they have 103 million in the budget. Are they rich again? secure finances. Shouldn't they be in massive debt? It's Barcelona. They can do what they want. Anyhow, dressing room, tunnel. We get along very well because I want to be good friends with Xavi. But yeah, look at that side. Ter Stegen, Koundé, Arajo, Christian, Nico, Pedri, Gavi, Rafinha, Lewandowski. Ansu Fati on the other side, who I've used on FM, is very good. I expect a long day out. Corner, William Jose heads away, but only as far as Rafinha and Koi out on this side. We force them backwards, which is good, but I just think every highlight we're just going to watch and see we're in trouble. Ansu Fati drops the shoulder, he's in, we're 1-0 down inside 3 minutes. If this game becomes a blowout, we're just going to just tick it away. And I was in a very comfortable position in West Ham where we could have gone again. And I think I've learnt my first thing in going, I'm not one to really move around on FM. I start a save, I build a club up, off you go, and that's it. We should have waited for a job to come to us. We should have we could have been proactive, but it was too early to be proactive. I didn't know that jobs become out later. I've never really been sacked on FM before. So I thought that would have been end of the season, you haven't done your job by. So I was actually quite shocked there wasn't much manager movement, because when I watch like Dr. Benji's Glory Hunter and stuff, there's a lot of manager movement every year. But yeah, we had nothing really. Look, I think our fixation trying to win the Europa League is going to cost us probably a couple of years in this Glory Hunter. Anyway, that ball there was an okay ball, and West Ham Bolton would have read it and got on it, but unfortunately for us, not the case here. Fekir, though, on the press wins it. I would love to score a goal at the new camp. And that's a ball and a half out there to Abner. Should have been to Arsene, but that's fine. Arsene makes a good run there. Ignored. Borja. Arsene. Cross keeper. Ter Stegen. That's where he needs to come in onto his right foot, though. Arsene Zakarian. I'm just worried that our wingers are going to do nothing all year, and that's our best players. But yeah, anyway, that's the right idea, but the wrong ball. We've had moments. Well won and then given away. We look at the positive that he won the ball there, the new sign, then Aster. And then he gave it away. Gavi with a good ball out there, Koundé, inside the Rafinha. And that's a ball to Lewandowski. He doesn't miss many. He's hit the bar, though. And Rui Silva and Sabalia headed to Arsene, whose touch is apparently poor. So we signed him for 18 mil, and he's the worst player in world football, huh? Can't bring down a ball. Long throw. Barcelona, who are known for a very particular style of football that includes giving the ball on the floor and playing into feet and in and out and whatever, have just scored with a Pedri flick on and a fuddy header. Mateo Gabi has missed a header against Pedri. Wow. Okay. Not realistic at all, Football Manager. Not realistic at all. Rafinha now, ball in. We've just seen Lewandowski score a scissor kick. My word. Lewandowski scored a scissor kick, Paul. What in the world? Yeah, okay, YouTube. It's going to be a long old year. It is going to be a long old year. This isn't our fight, but this is going to kill us. Anyway, Abner, Vinicius. Ramos. Which is Luis Felipe. I don't know why he's always got Ramos on top of his head. I'm going to nickname him Felipe just so it stays. Borja. Canales is offside. Would have been nice. Apparently he's not offside and it's going to count. 3-1. We've scored at the new camp. We've scored at the new camp. We could take the positive. Great finish. Offside by a mile. Maybe the game felt bad for us. I think what they're going to say is because Aranjo's touch that Ed's made him onside. He's offside by a mile. Yeah, okay. He's offside by about this much, and the game's trying to say because Aranjo's touch that he's played him on, which, look, he's basically standing next to Aranjo's impacted the whole entire play. We'll take it. Fresh the arms. Off we go. Barca have mauled us, but we've got a goal. I just don't like that Fekir and Arsene and Zakaria are the two guys that are really, really struggling out there at the minute. Anyway, William, Abda Vinicius, Ramos, William, Carvalho, Arson, Borja. Good movement here. Now we need to go out the other side to the other fullback, please. And we should have him out here. Barca have actually pressed really well with their thing. But that's great play. That's the football. Arsene Zakaria score. 3-2, hold your horses. Now that is absolutely football. That's liquid football. That is the moment that goes, there might be something in this team. Once maybe the cogs start turning and everyone gels, this is the football. Bouncing in and out of Barcelona like no tomorrow. And that is a finish and a half. I will say Ter Stegen probably should save it once he gets fingers on it, but who cares? That is football. That is sublime. We're one away, boys. I don't want to, rule anything out here, but we're one goal away. Don't concede right now. We need to get through this highlight and switch to the 4-2-3-1 as Rui Silva is tested from distance by Gavi. At the moment, a Lewandowski bicycle kick is the difference maker. Rui came for that and got nowhere near it. Canals wins that though. That should be the highlight. Should be the highlight. And it is. Alright. 4-2-3-1. We're going to go for it because we're only one goal down. They're all dead, and I don't particularly want to take them off because we've got some really good players. I think Rodri is going to come in on one side here as an inverted winger and get him creating. I think Arsenal's had a pretty good game. I think Sergio Canales can go back into there, that's fine. Have the Vinicius come back from injury for one Miranda and Rubial for two fullbacks that bomb on. Borja's dead. Fekir could play up front. I think if you're going to put Fekir up front so there's an advance forward, which means Luis Enrique comes out here. There's another inverted winger trying to run at people. Is he right-footed or left-footed? I can't remember. Left-footed, so that's fine. Roberto's a very attacking player. Go out there, son. Sit in the hole and just create something for me. And Canel's playing that Marino role from West Ham last year. Here we go, highlight. If we score, do we switch? I don't know what I'll do if we scored. Don't need to worry about that now because we gave the ball away. And here comes Koundé. Raul Runjo. We've given Barcelona a game, and this gives me some confidence. Still going to pose the question, have we made a mistake? Let me know in the comment section down below. What would you have done? I do think, part of me thinks we've made a massive mistake, and there's part of me that's gone and watched this game and gone, we've been okay as Lewandowski probably scores. It's probably onside, I think, and that's going to end our ability here to have had a decent day out. It has been given. Look, we've pushed Barcelona for 75 minutes. We never died, which is a good thing to have. He's onside by a mile. I do think the keeper should do better at his near stick. Once these guys learn the tactic, we might be all right. Anyway, the 16-year-old Poli is playing against Barcelona. It's a ball and a half to Rodri. Cuts it. Canels, if it wasn't blocked, and then Luis Enrique decided not to put it in the back of the net. If that wasn't blocked, that was in, and oh my word. Taz Franca, Koundé. Highlight coming to an end. Rodri comes in, falls back to him. Kessie heads. Good save, Rui Silva. He can make a save there, keeper. That's good to know. So we've got FM on the opening day, and then we walk into Barcelona. This has happened. Fekir is not known for any aerial ability, so that's going to be their ball. And Franca. I just think we've given up the midfield battle here to Barca, but we had to go for it. Is he a bad? Yeah, okay. We don't deserve to lose 5-2 today, and just because of the heart we've showed, but Barca have shown their quality, and the 4-2-3-1 doesn't probably suit us because we just don't have a good enough midfield. But yeah, there we go. That is a, yeah. Look, the one thing I will say is if anything gives you any sort of confidence, boys, it's this goal here. Because the movement of the midfield three and the run of Arsene, the finding of the pass of Borja, you had Fekir going on the other side as well. If we can produce that, and if we could do that against the weaker sides, which we should be able to go on a run. in the Spanish Cup. We should be able to go on a run in the Europa League. We need to win the Europa League for this gamble to pay off, let's be honest. But at the same time, be worried, be scared. We drew 1-1 on the opening day to one of the favourites for relegation in Vallecano. And we have no real money to make any improvements to the squad. This is the squad. This is what we got to deal with. I just think defensively we're going to be very, very, very poor there as well. But yeah, yet to win. First 2 games in charge of Raul Hippus or Raul Betis. And we've drawn, we've lost. The club atmosphere, the cohesion's growing at least up. Fakir's causing some issues, but it is what it is. And hopefully if one day drops it. But here we are. This is us. This is what we've decided to do. And hopefully, we can turn things around fairly quickly here as well. In terms of next episode, it's going to be the Europa League phase draw because it's the first year of the league. And then we'll obviously look to pick some games to play in the Europa League. Till then, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if it was a mistake. Give the episode a like. And thank you and goodbye.